Hello and welcome student. Today we will discuss about architecture during Sultanate period from the lesson number 5 medieval architecture of history, where you could see that new styles and techniques were introduced by the Turks and Afghans who came into India and later settled here. So from Turkey and from Afghanistan, new styles techniques came to India, and from India also to the world it went. So the already existing style of Indian architecture had this distinct feature. Okay, style of Indian architecture, they had some distinct feature. Number one is the concept of courtyard and colonnades. So are very common to Hindu structures. So if you see a building, a palace which was made by any Hindu kings or Hindu ruler, then you can easily understand there will be courtyard and colonnades. These are very common, especially in the temples, and this was borrowed to enrich Muslim architectural designs. A colonnade was another unique feature which includes a row of stone columns with equal spaces between them. I hope you understand. Colonnade was another unique feature which includes a row of stone columns with equal spaces between row of stone columns. So that means column which is made out of stones and there are equal spaces between them. That is colonnade. Then balconies are very common. So balconies supported by brackets were included. Then next is the decoration and beautification of structure with the help of carvings. So these are the three distinct features which was already available in the Indian architectural styles. These features were merged artistically with the new styles brought by the Turks and Afghans. This fusion gave birth to the Indo-Islamic style of architecture. Okay, fusion means mix up of Turkish and Afghani style and Indian style, which was later known as Indo-Islamic style of architecture. This type of style, Indo-Islamic style, was used while constructing palaces, mosques, towers and forts. Constructions were carried out by different dynasties of the medieval period. The rulers of the Delhi Sultanate built tombs, palaces, forts, mosques, baulis and gardens. These are all done with the help of these Indo-Islamic styles. Then comes, they used grey stone, okay, which made the structures plain and dull. In sharp contrast, the Mughal structures looked royal and beautiful due to the use of marble and red sandstone. So see, you can easily understand the style, Indo-Islamic style. You can easily understand the structural the things which were used to make it, marbles, red sandstones, like that. The important feature of Turkish and Afghan architecture was the use of the arc, the dome and the minaret. So I hope you understand what is the arc, dome and minaret. So you could see here. So this is the dome, the round one. Okay, then this is the arc, the minarets. So Taj Mahal is having 4 minars like that. So Turkish Sultan employed many Indians who introduced many patterns and designs such as bell, lotus and swastika to decorate the buildings. Geometrical designs, flowers and Arabic calligraphy were used. So this Arabic calligraphy had verses from the Holy Quran. The city of Siri was built by Alauddin Khalji and Muhammad bin Tughlaq built Jahanpana in Delhi. This showcases remarkable planning and architecture. So calligraphy, I hope you understand what is calligraphy. So beautiful handwriting, which were they used to write it in the walls and all. So that it is the Arabic calligraphy. Then comes the Gol Gumbaj. So regarding this Gol Gumbaj, I hope you all know that the dome is the one of the largest dome in the world. Indians, especially the Rajputs and other Hindu rulers, were so impressed and influenced with the buildings of the sultans that they adopted the arc and many other features. Thus, Indian architecture became rich and diverse. So Rajputs, what they were doing, other Hindu rulers and Rajputs, what they were doing, as they were so impressed and influenced with the buildings of the sultans, they also started adopting the Islamic style, that is the arc and many other features. The main features used in the construction of the buildings of the period was the dome. So the main feature used in the construction of the buildings of the period was the dome. In the beginning, only half domes were constructed, but with the passage of time, full domes began to be made. Okay, half dome and full dome. Arc was another feature which was introduced. Pillars were no longer required to support the roof, and the process of construction underwent a change. The concept of minarets, geometrical motifs, and mosaics were also included in the buildings of that period. So I hope you understand what it is told here. Main features used in the construction of the building of the period was the dome. In the beginning of the medieval period, you could see only half domes were constructed, but with the passage of time, they learned how to make the full domes, and full domes began to be made. Then domes, arc, these all things were all built up. Pillars were no longer required to support the roof, and the process of construction underwent a change. Minarets introduced, concept of minarets introduced, geometrical motifs were introduced, mosaics were also included in the building of that period. Now let us look at some famous buildings in the 13th, 14th and 15th century. The Quwat-ul Islam Mosque was constructed by Qutbuddin Aybak around 1197. The mosque is open and has writings from the Quran. Okay, Quwat-ul Islam Mosque was constructed by Qutbuddin Aybak around 1197, and the mosque is open and has writing from the Quran. The Qutub Minar is made of white and red sandstone and marble. It is a unique monument that has towers and balconies, both. Okay. Next comes Alauddin's Alai Darwaja in the Qutub complex, contains arcs and a large dome. He failed to complete the Alai Minar. The massive fort of Tughlaqabad is famous. The tomb of Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq was constructed on a high platform with a marble dome. Then Hoj Khas in Delhi was a pleasure resort with a lake. It has arcs and beams in the same building. In Firoza Kotla, which is now named as now known as Arun Jaitley Stadium, we can see the use of the lotus motif. It consists of a palace and a mosque. The Lodi tomb in Delhi is on a high platform and has a garden around it. It's on a high platform. So regional kingdoms also developed their individual style of architecture. The famous Charminar was constructed by the rulers of Golconda in the Deccan. It has 4 lofty gates with 4 minarets. The most famous Bijapuri building, the Gol Gumbaz, has the largest single dome in the world. It is a beautifully proportioned structure. So one of the largest, okay, largest single dome in the world. This is the Gol Gumbaz. Now you could see case study of Qutub Minar. Alai Darwaja is also seen. This is also a single dome, but is one of the largest, but not the largest. Gol Gumbaz is having the largest dome. Then case study Qutub Minar. The Qutub Minar at Mehrauli was built around 1191, built by Qutbuddin Aybak, who founded the slave dynasty. But due to his early death, it was not completed. It was finally completed by his son-in-law and successor Iltutmish, 1210 to 1235. The Qutub Minar has 399 steps and it is 72.9 meter high. It has projecting balconies. You could go there and you could see from the balconies, but it is not allowed. Carved with decorative elements on the underside, it consists of inscriptional surface carving and variegated fluting. It is the highest stone tower in India. So that is the case study. You could understand this one. You could do by yourself. The rulers of the Delhi Sultanate used which one? Which of the following is the unique feature of architecture during the Sultanate period? This one also you can do it and tell me. Then Havelis are there. The various Havelis in Rajasthan. Havelis are magnificent mansions that usually have colorful paintings on the walls. Intricate carvings on wooden gates which extended into a small courtyard is a unique feature of the Havelis. Small courtyard leads to a larger courtyard. Some Havelis have 4 large courtyards. So from where you can view the outside. So mural painting is there, were done on the outer and inner walls of the Havelis and formed an intrinsic features of this painting. Gold and silver leaves and a lot of mirror pieces were used as decorations. So Rajasthani palaces, if you see, you are going to get mural paintings there more. Okay, so many people in these areas were the devotees of Krishna, and so in most of the paintings the subject was the life and times of Krishna, so related to Krishna. So this one, it is told here, the Havelis of Jaisalmer are famous all over the world. They have dense interlocking structure. Architecturally they are designed in such a way that they keep out heat and dust. So in that way Jaisalmer's buildings were made. Then comes Baolis. Wealthy rulers in Haryana and Gujarat built a number of Baolis during the medieval times. So Baolis are step wells, as I have already told you about it. So a well is there and you could reach the well with the help of the steps or the CD, you could say. So those wells were termed as Baolis. So next architecture during the Mughal period we will learn later on in the next class. Thank you.